Today I'm going to show you how it's done. Today's video is sponsored by...
Is right at my feet. All right, so today we're going to talk about making intros. I'm going to make an intro for my Gritty Psychology YouTube channel. So the first thing you want to do is go over here to the right side and click on your little icon and go to your channel. And that'll bring up this menu over here on the left. And we're going to scroll down until you see the Creator Studio button. We're going to click on that. That will open a new window for you. And then down here at the bottom, you'll see this Audio Library tab. This is going to open up a whole bunch of royalty-free music that you can use in your videos. Now, some of those you'll have to give attributions to, and some of those you won't. And I'll show you how to see that in a minute. But first of all, you're just going to have to kind of pick your, pick the music or pick the intro music that's going to carry the vibe that you want it to have. You can sort these according to the mood, and all you got to do is click this little three-tier system here next to one of the moods you like. And so now you can see I only have funky music. I'm going to go through here and pick one, and it doesn't really matter. It's just going to be personal preference. Keep in mind you're not going to use the whole song, so these have a minute and 47, a minute 55, 2 minutes, less than a minute. You're only going to use an 8-second piece of that. So once you find it, here's where you're going to click to make sure that you don't need to leave an attribution. I prefer this because that way you don't have to, you don't have to worry about forgetting one in one of your details or in one of your descriptions. Once you find the one you like, click download, and that'll drop it into your downloads folder. Then I think it's important to create a YouTube channel specific folder, and I drop everything into there. So I'm going to go ahead into my Gritty folder, and I'm going to create an audio folder, open that up, and then before I do anything with the actual file that I've downloaded, I'm going to drop that into my my Gritty audio folder. That way, when I get into Davinci and I start editing, I pull it from that folder, and it's always going to be there, rather than sometimes we might drop it into Davinci and then move it from the downloads folder, and then we create an issue with trying to find the media. I'm just going to open up a new project here, and then I'm going to import the audio file that I have, as well as any logos that I might have. Now these logos, I like 48-hour design. If you're looking for a logo, click on the link down below, and you'll see this. I do all of my logos through 48-hour design. They do awesome work. I really like the flexibility and the ability to work with designers to get exactly the look I'm looking for. Once I get all of those drug into Davinci, the first thing I'm going to do is drop my audio file onto the editing chopping block, and then I'm going to go through and kind of scrub back and forth and figure out where exactly I want the music to be. Again, you're only going to use 8 or 10 seconds, so make sure you get exactly that clip you want, and it can be anywhere from the middle of the file to, almost always I'll pick something up from the beginning, because that's kind of when the beat gets going. And so I like kind of this section right here of the beat. I'm going to use that as my starting point. I'm going to cut that clip there, drag this to the beginning. Then I'm going to drag my logo down over top, and now I can hear what that beat sounds like with the look on it. I'm going to resize this. I'm going to shrink it down a little bit so that it's not filling quite the whole screen. That can be kind of maybe a little bit overwhelming for someone who's watching, especially if you're watching it on a 15-inch or a 16-inch screen. So I'm going to shrink that down just a little bit. And to do that, I just clicked on the inspector button up in the upper right-hand corner and then used the zoom feature and kind of scrolled back and forth until I got it the size I liked. Now I'm going to pick my out point in the music. I think I like it kind of ending about right here, so I'll reposition the playhead. On the Mac, it's a Command B function to cut that clip. Make sure that you have the audio file, the audio selected on the timeline. Command B, and then that'll cut that. Then if you drag this slider back and forth, you can create a transition out. The audio will fade out. Sometimes you'll like that, and sometimes you won't. Sometimes you can leave that in place and then just mess with the transition when you cut back to your footage and play with it that way. Other times you can, I like to have it transition out. In almost every setting, I'll have it fade out. So let me slide this back over. Play through it one more time. All right, now let's go over here to the deliver. Make sure that my video settings are where I like them. Make sure that the audio is checked. I'm going to pick my my location where I want to save this. Give it a name. We'll call this the Gritty Intro YouTube. A couple of headers so it'll be easy to find. Then go over and send it to the queue, and then render all. Now I'm going to go and find that that file that it's created, and I'm going to drag it back into my Gritty YouTube folder. Now I've got the now I have my Gritty intro in its own file in its own location. Now it'll be easy to drop into any video project I want. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so I've got this open project here. If this was for my Gritty YouTube channel, I wanted to drop in my intro. All I'd have to do is now go find that, find the folder there down on my external hard drive. Go to my Gritty folder, and there is my intro. Drag that into my media on this project. Oh, slide it over into, there we go. Slide it into my media bank. Now it's right there. Now if I click on that once, set the playhead where I want the intro to drop, and then I'm going to put this on. I'm going to click on this insert button right here, and it's going to drop it right in that section and move everything accordingly. Now maybe like some of the other examples that I showed at the beginning, you're going to see that you want it later on. You want to do a little introduction yourself to what a specific video is like. Basically the same thing. Just click on it, set the playhead where you want, click on it, then drop the insert button, and then you can see that it slides into place. And there you have it. That's all there is to creating your very own introduction for or intro video clip for your own YouTube channel.